trying to be better at staying hydrated. It is a mission every day, but it is a mission I'm embracing and determined to succeed in. So I've been home for about 3 months now. And when I say home, I mean living in California again, which is where I originally grew up and just moved back, and I am near my family. It has been a transition. It has been really great and so nice to get to see my family more often, get to attend family parties and gatherings that I didn't get to attend when I lived in New York. So I couldn't really always hop on a plane and be there for things like breakfast at my grandma's house and baseball games for my brother. So that has been so great. I'm so excited to get to continue doing things with my family. But as I have been spending more time with them and coming to the realization that I have been away for so many years, I left at the age of 17 and came back at basically 30. I have changed so much as a person in those 12 years. And while I know who I am and my friends know who I am, I've been running into this, and I wouldn't really say it's a problem, but I did want to talk about it on the podcast because I feel like a lot of people might be able to relate. I wanted to share my thoughts, share new perspectives, and I would love your perspectives as well. So if you want to leave comments on the episode or reviews or DM me, I'm here to learn and listen. And I love getting advice. I feel like when I get advice, it gives me a different perspective. And that's something that I usually grow from. Something that I've been struggling with to an extent is how to be my authentic self and really own who I am and help people see that, especially people that are close to me. You know, I'm not saying that nobody in my family understands me. That's definitely not what I'm saying, but I'm finding that I have a very direct personality and I'm someone who just likes to say what they think, not in a malicious way, but I do have lots of opinions. I do sometimes see things and I'm like, oh, how can I maybe offer this piece of advice? Because based on my experience or background, I'm not sure if this person knows that, and that could help them as they're trying to, do something new or venture into like a new field. And that's my like sometimes like gut reactions, and I just word vomit sometimes. And that's something I'm working on, when to give advice, and people aren't always in a receiving mode. And I guess I'm not used to that because in the environments that I've been in, I feel like there are lots of opportunities and people are in receiving modes, or at least that's how it's been with people that are closest to me. So new dynamics and personalities that I've been around for years. Um, I'm learning how to also like coexist with them and stay true to myself. And it's been something that I have been navigating, especially as I continue to grow and be very intentional with my words and my actions, and realize that not everyone is going to understand that and going to openly receive it. I may be misunderstood from time to time, but that is just helping me be a better communicator and also tapping into my manifesting and my growth journey of treating people with kindness and giving people the benefit of the doubt and not jumping to conclusions of, when I hear something, getting on the defensive right away. And that can be something that is easier said than done. I'm not perfect. I definitely have moments when I'm triggered and am more reactive than I usually like to be. And that's not in a trying to be calculated type of way. It's just in my manifesting journey, I have been trying to be more intentional with my actions. And with that intentionality comes being less reactive. Instead of hearing something and assuming what someone said, I like to understand what they're saying so that I can really like know where they're coming from and then respond. And as I just said, I'm not perfect, so that doesn't always go as planned, but it is something that I really try to put into practice. But I can't control how other people respond to the things that I say. And so showing people who I am and explaining maybe like where I'm coming from, because I know that I can be direct, is something that I am trying to work on. And also just keeping in mind that not everyone is open to receiving like advice or just random thoughts of wisdom to an extent, and that's okay. So it has been very interesting being home. I do love it, but I'm finding that it is helping me grow in ways that I didn't expect. When I moved back here, I, for some reason, thought things would just really fall into place from when I last was here. And what I'm finding is years have passed and many people have grown also in their own ways. And so learning how to communicate with my family because I'm so close to them is something that I am working on and trying to be really conscious of as I interact with them. Also, continuing to be my unapologetic self and stay true to me because I love who I am and I know who I am. And I am someone who is so kind, loving, caring, and wants the best truly for everyone. So, trying to help my family, and this isn't everyone in my family, but trying to help people in my family that maybe don't know me as well, like the evolved version of me, get to know me is something that I am working on. And that's why I wanted to share here because I'm finding that a lot of growth happens personally. It's a very personal journey, and you obviously share it with people that you love. And, there's some people that are more clued in to how you're evolving and, vibing with that and are in support of that. And then there's some people that, just aren't as clued in to how you've been evolving and growing. And maybe the way that your relationship is, you're running into tension like tense moments because you're not on the same page and they're like you're not even maybe in the same book. So that is just my personal vulnerable story that I wanted to share with everyone that's listening in case you've dealt with this or are dealing with this, that I think it is so important for us to also keep growing generation to generation. And I am not someone who just sticks to the status quo because that's how things have been done. I love to, learn new things, grow as a person, and really not waste any of the opportunities that, future generations have given me. I come from an immigrant family. My mom was first generation, my dad as well. They worked so hard to get to where they're at now. And I just want to take all of the blessings they've given me and just amplify them and share my voice with the world. And not everyone is going to be receptive to that. That's okay. Is not everyone needs to be in your corner as long as you feel good at the end of the day with what you're doing and you are like, putting this good energy out into the world and helping people, that is what helps me sleep at night. And I just want to keep encouraging people to not shy away from evolving because that is what's going to make the future generations even better. This is something I've been thinking about, especially with my niece and nephew, is how can I be my best self so that the person that they're seeing is also someone that is just kind and considerate, patient, and not perfect, but being a good role model to them so that as they grow up, certain things are more normalized and they've also been exposed to lots of ways of thinking, new perspectives. They can take everything that they've learned and go down whatever path that they choose to go down. But isn't it beautiful that they get to see so many different paths versus maybe just this one way of thinking and this one way of doing things? That is not how I operate. So I wanted to take this episode and some time to share my thoughts on that and how I'm learning about myself. You know, we can all continue to learn about ourselves. I feel like a lot of what sparks that are experiences and really being present in the moment. A lot of my recent family small conflicts, you know, are from me being really present in the moment and also really intentional with how I spend my energy and my time. You know, I'm not someone who likes to give my energy to things that really aren't giving me anything in return. And that's not me trying to be selfish. It's just me trying to protect my energy. I only have so much of it to give. I try to give it to things and people that value it at the end of the day. And that may sound harsh, but practicing that has made me more of a fulfilled person and a happier person because I'm not spending my time and energy on a lot of things that don't fulfill me and don't fill my cup up. And as I say frequently, life is long and life is short, and you got to make the most of the one that you get. So I am done apologizing for cutting people off or not spending a lot of time and energy with people that drain my energy bank and don't fill it up. That is my encouragement to everyone that's listening to check in with yourself and, you know, how are you spending your energy? Like, what are you giving it to? Are you giving it to things that are also giving you energy back? Or are you giving your energy to things that just take, you know, from you? And sometimes that's necessary, whatever you're going through in life. Like, being a parent, for example, you have to give your energy to your kids. Obviously, you get energy back from them, but there are also lots of other, you know, relationships or hobbies or habits that we have in our life that take energy from us and don't really give us any back. So, in the spirit of growth and living our most ideal life, I encourage you to check in with yourself and check in with, you know, your loved ones if you're seeing that maybe they've, you know, started to spend their energy on certain things, and that's not trying to control what's going on in their life, but really just checking in for their well-being. Honestly, with me and my friends, sometimes if I'm seeing like certain one of my best friends, sometimes her job can be very demanding and she's not saving lives, as we like to joke around about. But if I'm seeing it like wear her down, you know, just a simple like, hey, how are things going? I know that we haven't chatted in a while. How are you? Like, really, how are you? And while this thing might be temporary that's sucking all your energy, like, okay, we're moving forward, we're looking forward. How can we are you practicing other things that I know you love doing in your free time? And if you're not, encouraging your friends and your family to tap into things that are actively helping their well-being, I feel like should be more normalized. And sometimes in society, you know, we want to stay in our lanes and not pressure people or make people feel bad because they're not doing certain things. And it's not about making people feel bad. It's about helping people take steps to live their best life and to be fulfilled as people. And I think if we all just approach it from that mentality and less of a defensive mentality, we would all be a little closer and have this open mind. A big goal of mine for as we wrap up the end of the year is to find this inner peace. And it sounds woo woo, but whatever. Um, just this inner peace with myself. I mean, I feel like I honestly have it most days. I am very happy with my life and my relationship and where I'm at right now, just in general. But I obviously have goals that I still want to reach. And there are moments in the day or days in the week where I'm like, ugh, why am I not there yet? Or why haven't I, you know, I've gotten distracted doing this other thing. And I need to focus so that I can get to this next step. And while I do need to focus and, you know, to help me get there, I'm also I'm also working on embracing the fact that I have gotten so far in life already and celebrating that and all of the little wins each day and each week. The fact that I will get there eventually, but enjoying the journey along the way is a huge part of it, and staying present and allowing myself to feel that inner peace, because I feel like sometimes when you want so much success, you're also just maybe thinking about what you haven't accomplished yet versus what you already have accomplished. And that can feel defeating. And that can also take away from some of the glory that you should be feeling as you're progressing and growing and just living. So, normalizing inner peace and talking about inner peace is something I hope to do more of. And it will happen sometimes on the pod. It will happen definitely in my personal life and on social, and spending my time on things that bring me joy. Like, for instance, I've been being a little bit more active on social and also taking more videos and photographs because I love photography, and that is one of my passions that I've been passionate about since high school, when I took a digital photography class and learned Photoshop and all of the things of photography. So I've been tapping into that more, and it has been so thrilling. That and organizing as well. I love organizing. It sounds lame, but it is my jam. I love organizing a kitchen cabinet or the closet and finding ways to make the most of a space. That is something I've always really vibed with. That paired with interior design, just I can get lost in it and did get lost in it the other day when I was reorganizing our office closet. Because it's a walk-in closet, it's also a lot of storage for us, and so trying to make the most of that space but also have it like feel very like feng shui and that it still like could be useful is an art in itself, and I love it, and brings me peace when I see spaces that feel aesthetically pleasing and tidy, honestly, but also just organized, like knowing where I can find something in the kitchen, in the cabinets. It's just, the little things. So I hope you're enjoying this episode, and I hope you're excited for October because I definitely am. I am fully in fall. Saw a friend post on her social this 11 hours of YouTube, like fall, basically foliage, soft sounds, and fall vibes. I'm here for it. So I put that on today, and it has been so nice. I also found a jazz version of that, so I can share those in the show notes. But I feel like it's just really keeping me grounded, and that is my goal for this fall, is to stay grounded, keep learning. I'm in the midst of taking another course with Amy Porterfield right now that I'm very excited to share learnings for. This one's a longer one, so the learnings will come sprinkled in over the next few months, but it is something that is more time intensive. So I won't be talking about it on every episode, but it is also opening my mind to lots of creative things and helping me grow as a creator. So um, I am very grateful for Amy and grateful for the people around me that are so supportive in my creative endeavors, especially Marco. He is a creative himself, but I've haven't been in a relationship in like since high school. So I'm used to being single and doing whatever I want whenever I want. And being in a relationship with Marco has still allowed me to be myself, and he has been so supportive of everything that I'm doing creatively and is my cheerleader. And also when I get in ruts and stuck or I might be feeling overwhelmed because I'm juggling, so many things. He's also there in my corner to help lift me up and keep me sane. So thank you to you. I know you're listening because you edit this, so you have to listen, but I'm so grateful for you and I love you. And I don't talk about him that much on the pod. I sprinkle his name in here and there, but this podcast is really for me and for my community, and he is a part of it, but I like to focus on the bigger picture. But sometimes that does involve people that are close to me in my life, and I want to celebrate those people and thank them for being in my corner and always empowering me to go after my dreams and be my authentic self. You know who you are, and I love and appreciate you all. And this community, everyone who's listening, you're also helping me do that. So I just want to give a shout out to everyone and want to keep being my authentic self and encouraging you all to do that as well. I think we should normalize being authentic, and sometimes I feel like the pessimistic in me is like, oh, everyone's being authentic, but no, being authentic is hard. Being authentic requires vulnerability and transparency and strength and a lot of those things, uncomfortable conversations at times, and being open-minded, being kind, giving people the benefit of the doubt, and truly just being someone that's trying to make the world a better place. So that's me being my authentic self. And I mean, there's lots of other buzzwords that I didn't mention, like sassy and witty, but in the effort of being vulnerable and really like focusing on growing and encouraging you all to grow, I just want to say that go out in the world today, whenever you're listening to this, and be your authentic self and try to start with you. Once you get the hang of it, maybe encourage another person to do it, or reach out to your accountability partner and, share this episode with them and or, your takeaways from it, and see how you can apply some of the nuggets and things that I've talked about in this episode to your personal life to help you in your growth journey, because I do know that those of you who are listening are like-minded and open-minded and killing it at whatever you're doing and making the world a better place. I know that because I know I am, as this community is growing and I am getting more in touch with this community, I am seeing the people that, are really engaging with this content. And I love that we're building a community of people that are open-minded thinkers and caring and kind and badass and funny and just trying to live your best life and get the most out of this one life. So I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I can't wait to be back next week. If you resonated with this episode, please leave a review, even if it's just stars. It doesn't have to be words. I know we're all busy, but it would really help as I continue to grow this podcast. I do want to know that the things I'm talking about are resonating with everyone that's listening. So appreciate you all, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.
Music and editing done by Marco. You can find him at Midnight, MIDNITE_mind80 on Instagram for more of his work.